What's up guys, it's Rilla back with another custom that I promised from the last video. Which if you haven't watched that one, please check it out. Please do it right now. Today, however, we'll be jumping from Marvel to DC with my custom Deathstroke. I was inspired from the recent comic series that's out now, and I realized there's not many classic Deathstroke figures. Of course, we have the McFarlane one out right now, then there's the DC Icons, and of course the original Mattel release. But the McFarlane is out of scale, and Icons and Mattel are dated and hard to come by, so I decided it'd be a fun project to take on. But enough yapping, let's jump into the video. The figures I'll be using are the Marvel Legends Green Goblin along with the Legends Phantom Rider. Here are the figures side by side. I chose the Goblin off the scale mail armor on his arms and legs, and Phantom Rider for the overall silhouette. And white is just a good canvas to start on. But we will be taking his boots instead of Goblins. But first things first, making sure everything's going to fit smoothly with no major modifications. Fingers crossed, guys. I'm going to grab my heat gun and start softening the plastic to do the arm swap. And boom, it fits perfect. I will say the Goblin arm is a bit wimpy compared to the original, but I still think it looks good. It's also a bit shorter than the original. Next is going to be the leg swap, so let's pop the legs and boots off. The swap did work, but there is some slight gappage from the boot to the calf. But beside that, here's the figure assembled, so you can see the proper mock-up, and man, this thing looks badass. I threw in some G.I. Joe fodder for pouches and accessories, and the head is from Black Panther, but I snipped the ears and carved off the eye. This was before the video because I kind of got overly excited about the project before I had the rest of the parts. But before we continue any further, this is the Vulcan body mold, so let's do the mod for the better butterfly articulation. First, we're going to heat up the shoulder so we can pry the joint out. Once you see this piece right here, we're going to give it a snip, and now this guy can get really dynamic. When I had the mock-up assembled, I realized the legs and diaper piece had a lot of friction, so I'm just going to trim the trunks to avoid some later paint rub. Now, to try and cheat out sanding joints, I'm going to dye all the white pieces, and for that, we're going to need a plate, a paper towel, and of course, synthetic dye from Rit Dye More. Always get synthetic, and lastly, some sort of tray to separate your pieces. When starting the process, just make sure to bend the joints to the most extreme to get full coverage with the dye. But with the water getting some heat, it's time to shake and bake these parts. When I dyed these parts, I went at it for an hour more or less, so the orange turned to a red, which was disappointing, but still a better base to work on. But once that's done, I'm ready to throw the pieces in an ice bath, following with some Dawn dish soap and warm water to seal the dye. Here are the finished pieces, and they're super red, but I'm going to seal them with Super Mr. Clear to really prevent the bleeding from the dye. When I carved the eye from the Black Panther, it was pretty rough. I'm going to use some Milliput to smooth out those indentions and make it look more like a gouged eye. I have these cheap silicone sculpting tools from Hobby Lobby, and just dipping them in water does wonders to smooth out the epoxy. Here's the finished head, ready for paint. Now, I'm using my airbrush to spray orange over the currently red boots and hands, and I'm following that with Vallejo Gunmetal Blue for the scale mail. Here's the finished scale mail, looking amazing, but to ensure maximum shininess, I'll be covering it with the gloss varnish by hand. Jumping back to the head after priming, I'm going to apply the orange, not worrying about accuracy yet. Once that's dry, I freehanded a cross section using Night Lord's Blue. I'm going to fill in the second half of the head. One of my favorite aspects of classic Deathstroke is the eye design, with his actual eye being visible, so I'm going to replicate that, starting out with a layer of flesh. I had to lock in off camera to freehand the black design and eye, but this is how the head is looking now. I'm just going to paint the body with the same blue as the head, and I'm bringing back the blue gunmetal for the lower abdomen, and with that, this custom is about done. Here's Deathstroke next to some other figures from my DC collection. We have the Mafex Batman, DC Icons Harley Quinn, and Mafex Bane. I think he scales incredibly well with everyone. I think he's supposed to be a little bit taller than Batman in the comics, but I doubt the custom fig police are going to come for me. But let's do a proper reveal right now. This was quite the project with its own set of challenges, but I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more projects. And remember guys, the first step of being good at something is sucking at it. Have a good day. Later.